It is 3 a.m. The house is completely silent. You are wrapped in your warmest blanket, having a beautiful dream. And then, suddenly, thump, crash, meow. You wake up in a cold sweat, only to see your fluffy roommate staring at you from the top of the wardrobe like Batman watching over Gotham. Or maybe they are singing the song of their people to a blank wall. We have all been there, right? You just sigh, roll over and think, well, my cat is just being a weirdo again. But wait a second. Do you really think they are just doing this to annoy you? Or did your furry little machine suddenly break down? What if I told you that some of these hilarious, seemingly innocent nighttime antics are actually desperate cries for help? Today, we are going completely undercover into the night shift of your cat's life. I am going to reveal the shocking truth behind their midnight madness and tell you exactly when that funny behaviour means you need to rush to the vet. Grab your coffee because you are going to need it. Oh, and before we start, drop a comment below and tell me, what is the craziest thing your little hooligan has ever done while you were trying to sleep? Let's see whose cat is the ultimate night terror. Before we dive into the scary stuff, let us get one thing straight about how our feline overlords are actually wired. You see, despite sleeping comfortably on your expensive laptop or inside a dirty cardboard box for 16 hours a day, your sweet little fluff ball is a highly evolved apex predator. By nature, cats are crepuscular creatures. Now that is just a fancy, scientific way of saying they are most active during the twilight hours, at dawn and dusk. In the wild, this is the absolute perfect time to hunt juicy little mice and avoid bigger predators. So, when the sun goes down, your cat's biological clock screams, it is time to party, hunt, and destroy. Their eyes dilate to catch the tiniest particles of light, their whiskers become super sensitive radars, and their ears turn into satellite dishes, listening for the slightest rustle. Basically, while you are winding down with a cup of chamomile tea, your cat is strapping on their tactical gear. This natural instinct is exactly why they love the night. However, because the house is so quiet and dark, nighttime is also the exact moment when hidden health issues become glaringly obvious. When there are no daytime distractions, a cat's discomfort, pain, or confusion takes center stage. So, let us look at the things that should make you jump out of bed. Let us kick things off with the most classic nocturnal cat behaviour of all time, the dreaded 3 a.m. zoomies. You know exactly what I am talking about, right? 1 minute the house is perfectly quiet, and the next, your fluffy little angel has transformed into a caffeinated ninja. They are sprinting down the hallway, bouncing off the couch, drifting around the kitchen island, like they are in a Fast and Furious movie, and somehow managing to knock over the only glass of water you left on the nightstand. It is hilarious, it is exhausting, and it is a staple of cat ownership. We usually just laugh it off and blame it on the invisible gremlins they are obviously chasing. But hold on a second, cat parents. While a midnight sprint is totally normal for a young, energetic kitty blowing off steam, a sudden and extreme change in this behaviour, especially in older cats, is a massive red flag. If your senior cat, who usually sleeps 20 hours a day, suddenly starts pacing frantically, zooming without stopping, and acting completely restless every single night, they are not discovering the fountain of youth. This hyperactive, frantic pacing can actually be a major symptom of feline hyperthyroidism. Their thyroid gland goes into overdrive, basically revving their internal engine to the absolute max. It leaves them feeling anxious, overheated, and unable to settle down. So, if your elderly potato suddenly turns into a midnight track star, do not just buy them a tiny gold medal. Pick up the phone and book a vet appointment. Now let us talk about a behaviour that looks like it belongs straight in a horror movie. Have you ever woken up to find your cat sitting completely still in the dark, just staring blankly at a wall? Or worse, staring into a dark corner and crying with a weird, hollow meow? It is enough to make you want to pack your bags and sell the house, because it is obviously haunted by ghosts, right? We love to joke that cats can see into the fourth dimension, but the medical reality can be heartbreaking. In older cats, this nighttime confusion, wandering aimlessly, getting stuck in corners and vocalizing at nothing is a classic sign of feline cognitive dysfunction, which is basically cat dementia. Just like humans, a cat's brain ages, and they can become incredibly disoriented, especially in the dark when their vision is not what it used to be. The darkness makes them feel lost in their own home, leading to that haunting midnight crying. They are not talking to ghosts. They are calling out for you because they are scared and confused. If you notice your senior cat getting lost in the house at night, forgetting where the litter box is, or staring blankly at the wall, they need a vet, not an exorcist. There are medications, special diets, and simple environmental changes like plugging in nightlights that can dramatically improve their quality of life and help them feel safe again. Moving on to something that might seem more funny than scary at first glance. Imagine waking up to use the bathroom, turning on the light, and finding your cat fast asleep directly inside their litter box. At first, you might grab your phone to take a picture, thinking, oh wow, you have a $70 plush bed, but you choose the toilet. Classic cat logic. But put the camera down, my friend, because this is an absolute emergency. Cats are incredibly fastidious and clean animals. They spend up to 50% of their waking hours grooming themselves to smell absolutely perfect. They do not want to sleep where they do their business. If a cat is lying in their litter box, it usually means one of two terrifying things: severe pain or a urinary blockage. When a cat has a urinary tract infection, crystals in their urine, or a life-threatening blockage, they feel a constant, agonizing urge to pee. They stay in the box because they are desperately trying to go, but nothing happens, and they're in too much pain to walk away. This is especially common and deadly in male cats. A blocked cat can become fatally ill within just 24 hours due to kidney failure and toxin buildup. If you see your fluffy friend camping out in the litter box, straining to pee, or crying while doing it at night, grab your car keys immediately. This is not a quirky habit. It is a race against time to the emergency vet clinic. Here is a sound that will send shivers down any experienced cat parent's spine. You are lying in bed and you hear your cat breathing heavily. Not just a little sigh, but actual panting, with their mouth open, looking exactly like a dog who just ran 5 miles on a hot summer day. Some people might think, oh, he just played too hard with that toy mouse. He is just catching his breath. No, no, and no. Listen to me carefully. Cats are not dogs. A cat should almost never pant. If your cat is panting at night while at rest, sirens should be going off in your head. Midnight panting or open mouth breathing is a screaming neon sign of respiratory distress or severe heart disease. Cats are masters at hiding illness, so by the time they are physically panting to get enough oxygen, they are in a state of crisis. Conditions like feline asthma, congestive heart failure, or fluid building up in their lungs often get worse at night when they are lying flat, making it incredibly hard for them to breathe. It can also be a sign of extreme heat stroke or unimaginable stress. Never, ever ignore a panting cat, even if it stops after a few minutes. Wrap them in a blanket, try to keep them as calm as possible, and head straight to the emergency animal hospital. Do not wait until morning to see if they feel better. Their tiny heart and lungs are begging for professional medical help. Let us discuss the nighttime grooming routine. We all know cats love to clean themselves. The sound of a cat licking its paw in the dark is practically white noise for cat owners. It is cute, it means they are relaxed, right? Well, not always. Pay close attention to how they are grooming. If you hear them aggressively licking, biting, or chewing on their fur in the middle of the night, constantly interrupting their own sleep to do so, something is very wrong. Sometimes they lick the same spot so much that they actually pull out chunks of their own beautiful fur, leaving bald, red patches on their belly or legs. This frantic over-grooming, known as psychogenic alopecia, is not about cleanliness at all. It is a coping mechanism for severe anxiety, allergies, or hidden physical pain. Imagine having an incredibly itchy mosquito bite that you just cannot ignore while trying to sleep. That is how your cat feels if they have a hidden flea infestation or a food allergy flaring up at night. Alternatively, they might be aggressively licking a specific joint because they have hidden arthritis pain. and licking is their only way to soothe the ache. If your cat sounds like they are trying to eat their own leg at 3 a.m., do not just tell them to go to sleep. Your vet needs to investigate whether this is an allergic reaction, nasty parasites, or a sign of silent joint pain that needs pain management. Have you ever been woken up by the sound of furious slurping? You walk into the kitchen and see your cat drinking from their water bowl, like they just crossed the Sahara Desert. They drink and drink and drink, then head straight to the litter box, flood it, and come right back for more water. You might think, wow, it is great that Fluffy is staying so hydrated. Good for you, buddy. But in the world of feline medicine, excessive drinking and urinating, especially when it disrupts their night, is one of the most classic diagnostic red flags in the book. This condition is called polydipsia and polyuria, and it is the hallmark sign of two major feline villains, chronic kidney disease and feline diabetes. As cats age, their kidneys often start to lose their ability to concentrate urine. Because they are losing so much water in their pee, they become incredibly dehydrated, forcing them to wake up in the middle of the night just to drink desperately. With diabetes, high blood sugar makes them unbearably thirsty. Both of these conditions are incredibly common, totally manageable if caught early, but absolutely fatal if ignored. So if you find yourself constantly refilling the water bowl in the morning and buying double the amount of litter because of giant pee clumps, do not praise them for their healthy habits. Get them to the vet for a full blood panel and urinalysis. Let us talk about the midnight choir practice. Some cats love to walk around the house with the toy in their mouth, letting out this loud, muffled, guttural howl that sounds like meow, woo. Usually, this is just their hunting instinct kicking in. They caught the plush mouse, and they are proudly announcing their victory to their human slaves. It is annoying, but normal. But what if your cat starts yowling at night with no toy in sight? What if they are just wandering the halls, screaming at the top of their lungs, and they have never done this before? If you have an older cat, this sudden, piercing vocalization is often a sign of high blood pressure, also known as hypertension, or progressive hearing loss. Imagine slowly going deaf. The silence of the night can be absolutely terrifying for a cat that relies on hearing. They meow loudly just to hear their own voice and gauge where they are in the house. Even scarier, high blood pressure in cats can cause severe headaches and sudden blindness. They yowl because their head hurts, and they are suddenly plunged into a world they cannot navigate. It is a heartbreaking situation. If your senior cat starts sounding the alarm at 2 a.m. for no obvious reason, please do not yell at them to be quiet. They are scared, and they need a vet to check their blood pressure and vision before permanent damage is done. We all love it when our cats make biscuits. The gentle, rhythmic kneading on a soft blanket while purring loudly is a sign of ultimate comfort and regression to kittenhood. It is adorable. But what happens when biscuit making turns aggressive at night? Imagine your cat jumping on the bed, but instead of settling down, they are frantically kneading, pacing in circles, lying down for 2 seconds, getting back up, kneading again, and constantly shifting positions. They look like they are trying to find a comfortable spot, but absolutely cannot. This restless, almost angry kneading and pacing is rarely about comfort. In fact, it is often a major indicator of chronic pain, most commonly osteoarthritis. When a cat has joint pain, lying in one position for too long causes stiffness and aching, much like when we sleep on a bad mattress. They wake up hurting, try to massage the pain away by kneading, and keep moving because nothing feels good. Cats are absolute masters of disguise. They will not limp or cry during the day when you are watching them. But at night, when the house is still, the pain takes over. If your cat spends an hour doing the restless bedtime dance, constantly shifting and looking unhappy, it is time to ask your vet about joint supplements or feline pain relief. Nobody deserves to suffer through the night, especially not our fluffy friends. Let us explore a behaviour that will instantly break your heart. You wake up in the middle of the night, reach over to pet your cat who usually sleeps by your feet, but they are not there. You get up, search the house, and finally find them wedged underneath the guest bed, squeezed behind the washing machine, or hiding deep inside a dark closet. You try to coax them out with treats, but they refuse to move, curling into a tight little ball and maybe even growling softly if you try to touch them. This is not a fun game of midnight hide and seek. When a normally social cat suddenly seeks out a dark, isolated hiding spot at night and refuses to interact, it is one of the most urgent distress signals they can give. In the wild, a sick or injured predator is extremely vulnerable. Their instinct is to hide from bigger threats until they recover or, well, pass away. If your cat is hiding like this, they are telling you, I feel incredibly sick. I am in severe pain and I need to protect myself. This could be anything from a severe gastrointestinal blockage to acute organ failure. A cat that hides and withdraws from their family is a cat in absolute crisis. Do not force them out to cuddle. Gently wrap them in a towel, place them in their carrier, and head to the veterinary emergency room immediately. This is one secret sign you simply cannot ignore. Here is a classic one, the gravity tester. Your cat hops onto your nightstand at 4 a.m., looks you dead in the eye, and slowly pushes your phone, your glasses, and a glass of water onto the floor. Crash! You wake up furious. Most of the time, this is pure attention-seeking behaviour. They know that breaking your stuff is the fastest way to make the big bald ape wake up and feed them. It is manipulation at its finest, and we fall for it every time. However, if this knocking things over is accompanied by your cat suddenly trying to eat completely non-edible items in the dark, you have a medical issue on your hands. If you catch your cat chewing on plastic bags, licking concrete, eating cat litter, or trying to swallow your phone charging cord at night, they are suffering from a condition called pica. Pica is often a bizarre symptom of severe dietary deficiencies, anemia, or gastrointestinal diseases like IBD. Sometimes they are trying to soothe intense nausea by eating strange textures. Other times, chewing on hard objects like cords at night is a desperate attempt to relieve the throbbing pain of severe dental disease. If your cat's nighttime hobby shifts from just knocking things over to actively trying to eat your homework or chew on dangerous wires, they need blood work and a dental exam immediately before they cause a deadly intestinal blockage. Let us talk about sleep twitches. You are watching your cat sleep, and suddenly their paws start paddling, their whiskers twitch, and they make little squeaking noises. It is absolutely precious. You think, "Oh, they are dreaming about chasing a giant tuna fish." And 99% of the time, you are totally right. Just like us, cats enter REM sleep and act out their little kitty dreams. But how do you tell the difference between a cute dream and a terrifying neurological event? You need to pay attention to the severity and duration. If those little twitches turn into violent full-body spasms, if their jaw is chomping uncontrollably, if they lose control of their bladder, or if they are totally unresponsive to your voice and touch while it is happening, that is not a dream, that is a seizure. Nighttime seizures in cats can be caused by epilepsy, brain tumours, toxins they ingested during the day, or severe liver issues. Waking up to find your cat convulsing is one of the most traumatic things a pet parent can experience. If this happens, do not try to put your hands near their mouth. They might accidentally bite down hard. Keep them safe from falling off furniture. Film the event on your phone if you can. This is crucial for the vet to see. And the moment the seizure stops, get them to the emergency vet. Seizures can cause permanent brain damage, so time is of the essence. Have you ever experienced the midnight foot attack? You are sleeping peacefully, your toes accidentally move under the blanket, and bam! Your cat pounces, biting and scratching your foot like it is an invading army. Most of the time, this is just a bored cat playing hunting games. But what if the aggression is completely unprovoked, sudden, and extreme? Imagine you gently stroke your cat's back in the dark, and instead of purring, their skin suddenly ripples and twitches violently. They hiss, bite their own tail frantically, and then turn around and viciously attack your hand. This is not just a grumpy cat. This is a very strange and painful neurological condition called feline hyperesthesia syndrome. It is often described as rolling skin disease. The nerve endings in their back become incredibly hypersensitive. A simple touch feels like an electric shock or intense burning. It drives the cat absolutely crazy, causing sudden, explosive bouts of aggression, frantic grooming, and racing around the room like they're trying to escape their own skin. These episodes often happen at night or early morning. If your normally sweet cat suddenly turns into a biting, twitching demon when you touch their lower back, do not punish them. They are in agonizing nerve pain and need specialized veterinary medication to calm their nervous system down. Let us shine a light on the nighttime puker. Every cat owner knows the unique, disgusting sound of a cat getting ready to throw up. That herk, herk, herk sound is the ultimate alarm clock. You jump out of bed, desperately trying to move the cat off the expensive rug and onto the easily washable tile floor. Usually, they just leave you a slimy hairball or a pile of undigested kibble because they ate too fast. You clean it up, curse under your breath, and go back to sleep. But if your cat is waking you up with vomiting multiple nights in a row, or if they are throwing up white foam, yellow bile, or water in the middle of the night, this is no longer just a cat thing. Nighttime vomiting on an empty stomach is a massive red flag for conditions like inflammatory bowel disease, severe food allergies, pancreatitis, or even a partial gastrointestinal blockage. Cats groom themselves constantly, and if their gut motility slows down due to illness, everything just backs up. If your cat is vomiting more than twice a month, or if the vomiting is accompanied by lethargy and a loss of appetite the next morning, do not just switch their food and hope for the best. Chronic vomiting causes severe dehydration and weight loss. Your vet needs to take an X-ray or an ultrasound to see exactly what is brewing in that little tummy. How about a little nighttime serenade in the form of snoring? Some cats snore, and it is undeniably cute. A little rhythmic whistle from a sleeping Persian or British Shorthair is basically expected. But let us talk about when breathing noises become a medical emergency. If your cat has never snored before and suddenly sounds like a chainsaw cutting through wet wood at 3 a.m., or if you hear a high-pitched wheezing sound every time they exhale, you need to pay attention. This heavy, noisy breathing, especially if accompanied by a whistling sound or frequent reverse sneezing in the dark, points to a serious restriction in their airway. This could be due to severe upper respiratory infections, asthma flaring up, or even the growth of nasal polyps, which are essentially benign tumours blocking their nasal passages. Imagine trying to sleep while breathing through a tiny block straw. It is exhausting and terrifying for the cat. If you notice your cat extending their neck outward while sleeping, or if their sides are heaving with every breath, they are fighting for oxygen. Do not just take a cute video for TikTok. Respiratory distress is always an emergency. Get them checked immediately before that partial blockage turns into a total airway collapse. Here is a behaviour that is so subtle you might miss it in the dark, but it is one of the most critical warning signs in veterinary medicine. You get up for a drink of water and you see your cat sitting in the corner. But they are not just sitting, they have their head pressed firmly against the wall, a door, or a piece of furniture. They are not rubbing against it to leave a scent. They are just pressing their forehead into the hard surface and staying there, motionless, sometimes for hours. This behaviour is literally called head pressing, and it is never, ever normal. Head pressing is a profound neurological symptom indicating severe damage or pressure within the brain. It can be caused by a brain tumour, severe head trauma, a stroke, encephalitis, or hepatic encephalopathy, which is a complication of severe liver disease where toxins poison the brain. The cat is pressing their head because they are experiencing an unbearable splitting headache and profound neurological confusion. They are literally trying to relieve the pressure in their skull. If you ever see your cat, or dog for that matter, doing this, whether it is day or night, drop whatever you are doing. This is a level 10, red alert, life or death emergency. Do not wait for the morning. They need an emergency vet and a neurologist immediately. Let us talk about the morning after the night before. You wake up and your cat slowly gets out of their bed. But instead of that graceful, liquid feline stretch we all know and love, they look like a rusty robot. They walk with short, stiff steps. Their back is hunched, and maybe they even hesitate before jumping down from a low chair. After a few minutes of walking around, they seem to loosen up and act totally normal for the rest of the day. You might just think, "Oh, he slept funny," or "he is just getting old." But this nighttime stiffness that is worst right after waking up is the absolute textbook definition of feline osteoarthritis. Cats are incredible at hiding pain. During the day, their adrenaline and movement keep the joints lubricated. But at night, when they lie still for hours, the inflammation in their joints settles, causing severe stiffness and pain. It is exactly like how your grandpa complains about his knees aching when he gets out of bed in the morning. If you notice this robotic, stiff walk in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning, your cat is living with chronic pain. Do not let them suffer in silence just because they are getting old. Modern veterinary medicine has amazing safe pain management options, from joint supplements to monthly injections, that can literally give your cat their youth back. Have you ever heard a strange scratching sound on your carpet in the middle of the night? You turn on your phone flashlight and catch your cat dragging their butt across your expensive rug, like they're riding a tiny invisible sled. It is gross, it is funny, and it usually gets 1 million views on the internet. We call it scooting. Most people assume this is a dog behaviour, but cats do it too. If your cat is scooting across the floor at night, or obsessively licking their rear end in the dark, they are not trying to ruin your interior design. They are dealing with a deeply uncomfortable medical issue down below. The most common culprit is impacted or infected anal glands. Yes, cats have them too, and when they do not empty properly, they become swollen, itchy, and incredibly painful. If they rupture, it is a bloody, agonizing mess. Another major reason for nighttime scooting is a heavy infestation of intestinal parasites, like tapeworms. The little worm segments exit the body and cause severe itching around the cat's bottom, which is usually worse at night when the cat is at rest. So if you catch your kitty doing the carpet drag, put away the camera and break out the cat carrier. The vet needs to express those glands or prescribe some strong dewormer before things get really messy. Let us talk about the silent boycott of the favourite bed. You spent a fortune on that memory foam, heated, ultra-plush cat bed. For months, your cat slept there every single night, but suddenly you notice they are refusing to use it. Instead, you find them sleeping on the hardwood floor, in the bathtub, or on a cold tile surface in the middle of the night. You might just roll your eyes and think, typical ungrateful cat, buys them a mansion, they sleep in the sink. But sudden changes in resting locations can be a subtle sign of a brewing medical problem. If a cat suddenly seeks out cold, hard surfaces at night, they might be experiencing a high fever and are desperately trying to cool their body down. On the flip side, if they suddenly refuse to jump up to their favourite high perch and choose to sleep under the sofa instead, it is often a sign of back pain or declining vision. They no longer feel safe or physically capable of making that jump in the dark. A cat's habits are usually very ingrained. When their nighttime routine changes drastically without explanation, they are communicating discomfort. Do not just return the bed to the pet store. Book a wellness check to see if your cat is running a fever or dealing with silent spinal pain. Imagine this. You are lying in bed, reading a book, and your cat jumps up, but instead of curling up for a cuddle, they stand perfectly still, staring out into the dark hallway. You look at their face and you notice their pupils are completely blown out, huge, round, and completely black. Even though there is light in the room, they stay like this for a long time, looking almost startled or terrified. While dilated pupils are normal when a cat is playing or hunting, pupils that stay permanently dilated, especially at night when they are at rest, are a massive red flag. This can be a sign of sudden blindness, often caused by detached retinas. And do you know what causes retinas to detach in older cats? Uncontrolled high blood pressure. Sometimes the only sign of hypertension in cats is this sudden change in their eyes and a slight clumsiness in the dark. If you notice your cat's eyes looking like black pools that do not shrink when you turn on a bright light, or if they start bumping into furniture at night, you have a medical emergency. If caught within the first 24 to 48 hours, medication can lower the blood pressure and the retinas might reattach, saving their sight. If you wait, the blindness is permanent. So how on earth are you supposed to monitor all of these subtle, sneaky nighttime signs without staying awake for 24 hours a day and losing your own mind? Because let us be real, you need sleep too. The best secret weapon for any modern cat parent is a cheap, motion-activated pet camera with night vision. Set it up in the living room or near their food and litter box area. You would be absolutely shocked at what you discover when you review the footage in the morning. You might find out that your cat isn't just being bad by peeing outside the box, but they are actually crying in pain while trying to use it. You might catch episodes of head pressing, frantic grooming, or stiff walking that you would never see during the daytime. If you do catch any of the bizarre behaviours we talked about today on camera, save that video. Vets absolutely love video evidence. It is incredibly helpful for them to see exactly what the cat is doing in their natural home environment, rather than trying to diagnose a terrified frozen cat on a cold steel exam table. Being proactive and using a little technology can literally save your cat's life and give you peace of mind. And there you have it, fellow cat moms and cat dads. We have decoded the secret language of the feline night shift. Now you know that while our cats are absolute weirdos who love to do parkour at 3 a.m. and knock our water glasses onto the floor, they are also incredibly stoic creatures who rely on us to notice when something is wrong. Knowing the difference between the funny zoomies and the frantic pacing of hyperthyroidism, or knowing that sleeping in the litter box is an emergency, can truly save your furry best friend's life. Now you know exactly what is going on inside that fluffy little head when the lights go out. Even though they wake us up, demand food before the sun rises, and use us as their personal heating pads, we would not trade them for the world, would we? We absolutely adore our little dictators. If you found these secrets helpful, please smash that like button, share this video with every cat owner you know so we can keep more kitties safe, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome cat content. Now, it is your turn. Question of the day. What is the weirdest, funniest or spookiest thing your cat does at night? Leave a comment below. I read every single one. Stay sleepy, stay vigilant, and give your cat a big cuddle from me.